want to go ahead and kind of talk a little bit more about the Cecil Hotel, the reputation that it had for violence, deleting yourself, and deleting others. Guys, this reputation actually started back. If you remember, I said that it started, the whole hotel was actually built, I think I said in 1924. But the first time that any bad thing actually happened was reportedly anything happened was back in 1931. There was a guest named K.W. Norton. He died in his room after he took a poison capsule. But guys, throughout the 1940s and the 50s, more self-deleting at the Cecil occurred. In 2008, 2 long-term residents referred to the Cecil as the deleting yourself. And it became popularly nicknamed in social media later. So they kind of named it like Hotel Unaliving Yourself. Now guys, in 1964, there was a retired telephone operator named Pigeon Goldie Osgood. So she was retired from the phone company, but she lived there at the hotel. And the reason why Pigeon got her name was because she liked to go out into the streets and she liked to feed the pigeons. Well, one day, one of the people, the employees of Hotel Cecil, found Pigeon Goldie in her hotel room, deleted. She was aped. She was beaten, and her room was ransacked. Now, there was a person, I think his name was Jax B. Ellinger. He was charged in the murder because he was seen all over town. He was covered in blood, but guess what? He was cleared as a suspect, and that unaliving of Goldie is still to this day unsolved. Now, in the 80s, the hotel was temporarily the residence of the murderer, Richard Ramirez. You guys know him. He was a Night Stalker. They say that he would come home undressed, and residents or people that was staying there would see him climbing the stairs up to the 14th floor where he stayed in his underwear. Now, guys, there was I think about 3 or 4 people that actually deleted themselves by just jumping out of the building. There was a lady that actually got in a fight with, I can't remember if it was her boyfriend or her husband. He left the room, so she proceeds to jump out the window. When she jumps out the window, she falls on another man, and it just automatically deletes her and the man she falls on. Now, at first, they thought that the man she fell on, that was maybe a pact, but it wasn't. Because, first of all, the man's shoes were still on. Also, his hands were in his pocket. So if he would have gone out the window, first of all, they said that his shoes would be off and that his hands would not have been in his pocket. There has been then there was, the last thing I want to talk about was the Elisa Lam. That was a Netflix documentary where there was a video that came out and it looked like she was playing the elevator game. And you can see the footage. It's all over the place. It's had millions and millions of views of her going into this elevator, going up and down, her stopping on the floor and peeking out and going and looking to see. It looked like she was talking to someone, but nobody was there. It looked like she was hiding for someone. So she went missing. And about a week later, residents that lived at Cecil started calling the office and saying, hey, our water is smelling funny. It's tasting weird. And it also was black coming out. So they sent a maintenance guy up there to the roof to where they had, I think it was 3 or 4 water tanks. And they found Elisa Lam right there, floating inside of the water tank. And of course, they said that this was a self-deleting. Now, the funny thing about Elisa Lam, hold on, I want to get this because this is really strange. So after they found Elisa Lam, what was really weird coincidence, if you believe in coincidence, there was a tuberculosis test that everybody within a mile or 2 of the Cecil had to take. And that tuberculosis test was called the Lam Elisa. There was a breakout of a new strand of tuberculosis in Skid Row area within a week. And they all had, everybody within this mile radius had to take this Lam Elisa test. And this Lam Elisa test is a real test. The main theory on this is that Elisa was somehow involved with the government in some type of way to decrease the homeless population in the area she was staying. I don't know, guys. That is so weird. But for her to be floating in the water, and then there's a tuberculosis test called by her name, kind of strange. Guys, tell me what you think down in the comments. I love each and every one of you. Bye, guys.